Hi, Werner. How's it going? This is Mac from Cryptstar. Nice to have you here today.
Hello, Mac. Nice to have you. Well, thanks for having me.
No problem, no problem. So you're the superstar behind the YOUves platform, I hear.
Yeah, we try to give our best.
That's great. Yeah, it seems like you guys have a really good thing going. I've been using the platform for the past almost 2-3 months now. And it was pretty funny to watch it like evolve. It was exciting to watch it evolve from like people kind of frantically like trying to get out of liquidation, and then like, wait, what? We're not getting liquidated. We have to liquidate each other. And then finally, everyone kind of figured out how the flow went, and now it seems like it's going very smoothly. And a lot of people are calling it like the better Calibri. Yeah, I just want to have you here today, ask a few questions, all of the community members have been asking me some questions about it, and then I have no idea, so I have to ask you today. Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and also what was your career before you started doing synthetic assets?
Sure. So I'm Swiss. I grew up in Switzerland, but after university, I went to London and I worked for a large investment bank, and I was doing structuring and sales of derivative products for 8 years. Well, I was in London and in Singapore. After that, I worked for a fintech startup in Hong Kong for a year. Well, a bit less, a few months. And eventually I left there and I moved back to Switzerland, and I started working for a big professional services company. And I was just being the subject matter expert for anything finance, trading, financial products, and did all sort of different projects there. But eventually I wanted to get closer to like pure finance, capital markets again, and I moved to a small asset manager, worked there for about 2 years. But eventually I really saw that this whole decentralized finance space, it had been an interest of mine from the get-go when I first learned about blockchain, and it seemed like an obvious application to do that. And when the sector got kind of more going, and I had discussions with friends of mine that we should really start something in that space. And then eventually last year I left the asset manager, and I started working full-time developing this US platform, like doing all the working out the incentive system, the products and everything, while we were still kind of figuring out how we were going to do this. And then in February this year, we founded Ubinetic AG. And since then, yeah, we were working pretty much full-time on this US platform. And from the very beginning, we had in mind to have a decentralized organization, like a DAO structure, because we thought, like, in a way, like, it doesn't really make sense if it's DeFi if then we fully control it. And so that was really part of it from the get-go. And well, that's where we are now.
Okay, great. Just FYI, it looks like my oh, there we go. We're back.
Yeah, you were frozen for a bit, but I thought I could still hear you.
Okay, that's great. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, that sounds like you had a pretty long history in finance, and I kind of noticed that when reading through like the YOUves these documents, trying to figure out exactly how this thing works. I read through a lot of like white papers and then documents on blockchain. I think YOUves was definitely one of the ones that used a lot of words that I had no idea what they were.
Yeah, this is definitely me to blame for that. That's yeah, I wrote the documentation, and yeah, I can't help it. That's just how I learned to write technical documents.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's good if you're going for like, you know, really financial savvy people, or what I say, financial, like people who knows math and things like that. Like I my dad loves math. I could probably show him and he knew what it was, but I had no idea. I'm more of like a learn through do, and I don't understand the different algorithms and everything. But in the end, I think it's you created a really like solid product, and it seems to work really well, as long as the price doesn't go down too fast. And then, so yeah, where did the names YOUves and Ubinetic come from?
Well, Ubinetic, which came up first, was really like we were looking for a name that had no specific meaning, that wasn't taken yet, that we could all live with. And not sure whether you've ever done any name search for a company or a project. It's very painful. And so we did lots of brainstorming and eventually came up with Ubinetic, and we all liked it. And then we stuck to that and just said, okay, we take that. And then it was actually a similar process with YOUves when the naming was discussed. And YOUves has this, I mean, it's vaguely derived from You Invest, but again, it was a name that we would like, and that wasn't taken yet, and that wasn't too specific.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. I was really confused. I was like, is this like, I don't know, like some foreign language I don't know? So I tried to Google it, and I was like, oh no, it's YOUves. And then I'm like, oh, the governance token is you, and the platform's called YOUves. And I kind of like, I kind of got the idea of You Invest as well. Like when I was thinking about it, I was like, it's like you but your own bank kind of thing. So it kind of made sense to me. Okay. And let me think. Yeah, Cryptstar was the same way. Like I was like, kryptonite, something strong, and green. I wanted to go with the green theme for some reason. I don't remember why at the time. Let's see. The platform is decentralized, and your company mainly just provides the tooling, such as the YOUves platform. So how exactly is the breakdown of like the organizational structure between YOUves and Ubinetic? And where's the separation of like responsibility and like what do you call it? Like where's the infrastructure and where's the code? Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we kickstarted the YOUves project. So, I mean, right now we're still doing quite a lot in terms of work on the platform, but the goal is to eventually move to a fully decentralized governance model. So right now we still have the multi-sig governance process, where it's 4 out of 7 keys that need to agree on any kind of changes. But the goal is to move to a purely governance token-based, so You token-based model in the coming months. So we haven't we don't really have a deadline yet, but it's either late this year or early next year, because yeah, we want a fully decentralized model, and it's just in the very beginning, because there were so few governance tokens around, we thought it's probably not the best idea to start with that. But now there's already quite a bit that have been claimed, so we think the time will soon be ready to do that move.
Okay.
And in terms of organizational structure, so we're just a corporate incorporated in Switzerland, Ubinetic, and YOUves really is this DAO, this platform that is owned and operated by users for users. So we don't really own it.
Okay.
And it also doesn't have like a legal persona. It's just out there.
I see. Okay. So your plan is to eventually, hopefully, have other people start giving out, giving proposals and things like that, and then Ubinetic could work on like implementing those proposals, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, it probably will move in that way, and I mean, if eventually we see that people also want to contribute in other ways, that's also possible.
Okay, awesome. Oh, that's kind of what I was thinking. My image was people ask for different synthetic assets and things like that, and then they vote for it. And then I was just kind of curious as to where I didn't really understand the documentation. So Ubinetic, when users vote to upgrade to use a certain, to get a certain feature on the platform, does like a percentage of the voting go towards a fee to get to like pay for the development work on the platform, or how are you guys planning to do that?
I mean, for our development services and as company that kickstarted the project, of the 45,000 U tokens that get distributed each week, we get 5,000, and there hadn't been any pre-minting. So really, these 5,000, that's like a ninth of the tokens each week. That's what we get as reward for the ongoing development.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So it's kind of like you guys kind of work the back ends, and then the front end users can kind of control the platform and decide where it goes.
Correct.
I see the community is growing quite a bit on Discord, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. No, I mean, we were actually really happy about the active engagement with the users on Discord.
Yeah.
People have loads of questions, loads of suggestions, and
yeah, I mean, you guys have added all the features I think that everyone asks pretty quickly. So I was really surprised at how fast you moved. What do you guys see the utility of the token? And also, I was kind of curious if the UDefi fees will also be paid to the U token holders, just like UUSD is paid. Is that the plan?
Yes, that's definitely the plan.
Okay.
I mean, for now, there will be a different staking pool, so that you can stake and get the rewards on UDefi rather than the rewards on UUSD. But yeah, the plan is to go exactly the same way. And the utility of yeah.
Oh, so you have to stake on both different pools. Okay.
We may change it in the future, but just for now, we don't want to have too many changes in the setup. And if we use different pools, we can basically just replicate the setup we already have for UUSD.
Okay, you don't have to modify the existing contract. I see.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, pretty much ever since we went live, there's every week or so, there's something where we realize, like, okay, this could probably be improved a little. And so we just take note of things. And then eventually there will be an update where we see how we can best find a consensus for all these potential improvements and those that are not in conflict with each other, how to best update the whole platform and basically get it to the next level.
Okay. Yeah, I saw someone put a recommendation. It was they basically took they were asking that you could remove the possibility of liquidation if you took out the U rewards, and if you could have like a switch to flip it on or off. I thought that was an interesting idea, but then I'm like, then there's like they're still paying the stability fee technically. So what did you think about that exactly? I saw some people comment on it.
Yeah, the thing is, some people were very unhappy about this this conversion that the holder can do and basically burn his UUSD against some of the tests out of a vault. And yeah, it is somewhat controversial, but the thing is, we just see it adds a lot of stability to the stable token because the prices rarely drop much below that level. And yeah, it's a double-edged sword. So we thought a lot of how we could change it, and we could introduce yet another pool, but that would add complexity. The pool would have to be incentivized, probably with U tokens. It's not clear how deep that pool would be, especially if a lot of people start selling the UUSD. And yeah, we just thought this way of just having this conversion feature is just pretty simple. And given that some people are really not happy with it, the one possibility is basically just that at the beginning, when you create a vault, you can decide whether you want to be in or out. And then if you're out, that's fine. You will never be converted, but you also don't get any U tokens.
Yeah. Yeah, and then if you still fall below 200%, you can still get converted. So
yeah, I mean, but that's a slightly different feature. I mean, that if you that's just really on the value of your collateral, whereas the other one is mainly driven by the value of the UUSD or whatever token you have in that sense. So if that value drops too low.
I like the conversion offer personally, but I also, I mean, once you do that, once you allow people to turn the token off, then the pool of people who, but then the pool of people who have it turned on will get like, well, they'll be the ones getting converted left and right. So it kind of really suck in that case, but I don't know. So it's like it's really hard, tough decision. But I don't know. I think once you learn how the platform works, it's not so much of a risk anymore, as long as you have enough Tez on the side to put in when a conversion offer comes up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's fair to say this is still a lot of these things we're still try to fine tune and constantly improve. But yeah, as it is with the blockchain setup, we can't. It's not like we're in a purely centralized setup where you can just release an update every week at almost no cost. So here we really have to think carefully how, when, and if we want to update.
Yeah, that's true. And right now it's more exciting to get something like UDefi on there, I think. So
yeah, I also think there's still quite a lot of learning going on how to best do these things. So I'm also not too keen on doing updates too quickly, as long as we're still in a phase where we learn quite a lot on how things actually work in practice.
Definitely, yeah. When do you think the UDefi will be on the mainnet?
Probably this week.
Oh, nice. That's cool. That'll be interesting. Are you guys reaching out to anybody like? Are you guys reaching out to the new Spicy Swap to see if you can get listed on there, or I think you've already talked. You're talking to Plenty already. So
yeah, we're talking to Plenty already. We're talking to all of them at the moment, but my colleague's been involved in that, so I don't really have the latest info on where we stand.
Oh, okay, great.
But yeah, I mean, of course, we're keen on working with these different DEXs and farms just to get our product out there.
Yeah. I think it's getting to be one of the most popular ones. I don't know what the total value locked is compared to Calibri, but I think it's probably comparable, isn't it? Or are you guys ahead now?
I think you were ahead last week, so I'd have to check.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, what's it be on metrics? So it's 5.1 million tests. But yeah, we're very happy with the growth that we've experienced. So we're positively surprised, and we're
yeah, it's really crazy, like how popular it's become in such a short amount of time. I think everyone was very happy to see like a platform that finally has things that like load within seconds of you loading the page, and that has like nice graphic design and everything.
Yeah.
We're on Tezos, we're so used to like ad hoc designs.
Yeah, I must say I have to give my colleagues credit for the graphics design, because I myself am not a designer at all, and I couldn't do anything like that, even remotely close in terms of quality. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah. Yep. Let's think. There's a few more questions I had for you today. I was wondering. Well, I already kind of answered one of them. So, let me think. I just turned off the sound on my iPad. Sorry, and turned back on somehow. What would you like to see from the YOUves community? And also, what could you tell us about what do you want to see from the YOUves champions as well?
Sure. From the community, obviously, we like to have active engagement if they want something or if they're unhappy with something, just rather tell us than not tell us. Hopefully also a little bit of patience if things don't get turned around immediately, because yeah, oftentimes it's just a little more complex than it looks like from the outside. And with the champions, I have to say we've probably not done a great job lately because we've been just so overwhelmed with all sort of other work, and we didn't really have one person designated to interact with them. But we need to improve that in the coming weeks, because actually it's really something we're very happy to have. We're happy to have people like you that help us spread the word and engage with users on Discord. So it's not just us. So we actually feel like the information is multiplying. And I think interviews like this, obviously, they're great. Eventually, we will also need to work on a video explaining some of the features that we have in the documentation currently, because lots of people have been asking on more like tutorials.
Yeah.
So this is something that maybe we can do with one of the champions together to get the ball rolling there, because it's something I know we need to do it, and it will probably be me on our side, but there's just constantly been other things that were more urgent.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, I've already made a couple tutorials, and planning to make more from now on. I should have a lot more free time. I've been making some for Plenty as well at Tezotopia. So yeah, just reach out if you want anything done.
Sure. I mean, also, I'm very happy to explain everything in detail that's unclear in the documentation. And also, like, you're actually in very good company. A lot of people said the documentation is a tad too technical, and I guess that's just the way I write. And we will probably need somebody to go over it and simplify it a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, but it's okay. I mean, for me, it's just like, oh wow, this guy's pretty smart. Okay, I guess I have to mess with it to figure this out.
I'm just using a lot of buzzwords. It's just
it's using a lot of smart words or a lot of big words that people don't understand. But I get that a lot in Japan. I have to like, people come from like London or England or Switzerland, really smart like IT guys come from over there, and then I have to like dumb down their language to Japanese level because they don't know about cloud lingo. So I have to translate that to like infrastructure lingo. It's a mess, but yeah, translate it for the masses. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it for our interview today. Wraps it up in about 30 minutes. So is there anything you'd like to kind of clarify for the community before we wrap it up?
Maybe not so much clarify, but I can just tell you a little bit of where we think the platform can go from here. So after the UDefi, we will probably we will ask the users which tracker token we should do next. And like last time when we checked, people were interested in euros, gold, silver, but also some other basket of cryptos. So we could maybe do cryptos like only on a proof of stake rather than proof of work, kind of the green basket, or just overall big native tokens of chains. What we're also working on is a feature for options products. So we will have 1 week options or option spreads, probably on Tez dollar or maybe Bitcoin dollar, where people can buy or sell these option spreads if they're bullish on Tez or bearish on Tez.
Nice.
And we think it's going to be interesting to see how that works. And I've been working on the documentation for that, and we've implemented quite a bit. We still need to do some work on the front end, but we think that could be an interesting addition. And also it would use the US dollar as a building block. So that was always one of the ideas we had, that we can kind of use our own products as building blocks for the next more complicated products, almost like Lego. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that works out.
No, I think it'll work out well. You guys have done a great job so far, so I have full confidence.
Thank you. And in terms of other aspects of the platform, we hope that in the medium-term future that we will also get some institutional players on the platform to add some liquidity, because that, anything that's just purely peer-to-peer, it's very elegant and it works reasonably well in low to medium size volume, unless you're already a massive platform. But if we manage to get some institutional players as well on board as users and liquidity providers, we think this could really move the platform to the next level.
Oh, yeah, that did actually remind me of one of my other questions. Were you planning on creating a separate fee pool or something like that, and then tie it in with liquidity points? And if you do that, how would you decide which DEX liquidity pools you're going to use?
Yeah, that's actually an ongoing question. I mean, we're probably looking to do something on Plenty for the YOUve as well, but ultimately, whether we reserve some of the ongoing YOUve token distributions for liquidity is something that we've been discussing for a while. But again, we'd have to think just how we best balance that as to not screw up the whole system. But it's definitely something we're thinking about.
Yeah, little ecosphere you got to protect.
Yeah, and also, you don't want the moment you start having several of these pools that get incentivized, you just want to make sure you're not totally that one doesn't get dominated by the other too much, because then otherwise the incentivizing doesn't really work as intended.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking I think it was the USD? No, it was the YOUve and Tezos pool on Crunchy, right? Was that Crunchy? And then that ended a couple of weeks ago, right? So I was looking at that, but then I was like, should I stake my YOUve on there on the YOUves platform, or should I put it in this pool? I was really torn between the two. So, yep. All right, I think that's a wrap for today. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me, and I'll try and make some new tutorials for you guys. Get some more users onboarded.
Thanks a lot for having me, and by all means, if for any tutorials, feel free to reach out, or I'll reach out to you, and I'm very happy to go through everything in great detail, just so it's clear to you, and I can also help on the tutorial itself, just as you wish.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. I'm just gonna end the broadcast now.
Bro, we need to pump it. Everybody go to Twitter and hashtag the things, pump it, pump it real good. We need a good pump. Everybody deserves a nice Tezos pump.